the classic Nautilus route here, I'd still say, oh, they're going for Rakan. But I'd still say that Los Ratones bot lane is stronger here.
Yeah, Mohonics, what do you feel like? We see all the pick and bans coming on through, so 10 champions will...
Forced to go back into his jungle. So much pressure on both of these sides. The French community against the Rats, really. The battle lines have been drawn as Mainter. Finds a pretty good trade here. Could find Bowser as well for the solo kill. First blood should be secure at the jump. And then lastly, if you're unfamiliar with Snowcue name, has been in the NLC before as well for Redland. Been very good in particular. His Akali, I remember, has obviously found success as well on KCB as EMEA. Caught out here by Velia. Reckless rotating up as well. His fate is all but sealed as Velia. We'll get that
struggle later on as the Poppy into the Jax can sort of start to bleed out in the 1 versus 1 to the point where Poppy has to go and commit to a fight, and you're sort of losing the big arm of Bowson's law, which is I can go to the side lane at inconvenient times and drag you there. You take a death every single time, it does get a little bit out of hand. You're right, it hasn't come to burden Los Ratones yet too much.
Yeah, I think that's a good say, right? Not too awfully much. They have obviously felt that at times where teams
describe his playstyle has been a menace so far.
Oh, he's TP behind. I don't think Bowser's realized this yet. It might be a little too late. Good flash, good autos. As the goal, he used the ultimate. Mainter, that is brilliant.
With the Jax without the big 6, and I suppose Azir as well does make fantastic use of them. Isma's able to get in there because of the fast footwork around mid, and not a lot of mana for Mainter.
Mana on Mainter, but Isma has a full HP bar and a full mana bar, but he gets sent back. Not today, Bao says, as he's able to buy some games, and he could potentially do that here as well. The Kraken Slayer already built. They find Goldie already found as the Su as the next one to be picked off and instantly evaporates off the rift.
Once again,
he's not done. He's not done. He wants more. The Heartbreaker flies wide though as the Killer Instinct goes out towards safety, but there is no safety really for Exa as Feats of Warfare acclaimed. Velia cannot be stopped so far. He goes forward beneath 2 turrets and he happily finds the kill as Mainter. One more auto from finding Bounce, but he's able to survive. Maybe I was wrong. This time the mana bar almost full. Holding our breath really when we got over there. It's so close to really just leading to that solo kill. First throw though to be claimed. Will it cost them anything as Exa desperately trying to do damage, but there is nothing that can be done. He's not far enough ahead in the game yet to really have a say. TP in from Mainter. They want more. They are trying to squeeze everything out of this counter move, but they can't gain anything. Los Ratones just walk out.
That's absolutely fantastic in the 2 versus 4.
They're looking for the dive. They won't give it. They won't give it. The Killer Instinct forward, but can they really close the gap? Crowny has the flash, and that should be enough to buy more time. The Grand Entrance though connects. The Ignite is ticking. They finally found it, but what has it cost them as Mainter now the next target? Velia has already found 1. Nemesis has rotated down, and it's not just gonna be 2. They want all 3.
And so with the fantastic find onto Crowny, had to go so deep just at the right time. But KC Blue pay the iron price. That is absolutely vicious. Velia coming through will pick up another, goes to 5-0-2 on his signature Viego. Looking so strong as we enter the mid game.
And then as Velia goes unstoppable, the goal lead balloons. They overforce their hand. KCB desperate to get something when they invest that TP. Instead, they invested in the wrong thing. 5k gold. The NLC representatives are ahead. They lose a turret and not going to go for it. It feels like the game has already slipped through the hands here of KCB. They had a win condition to play around. And
taking a deep breath and reassessing their options. As the Rift Herald falls, not too worried about it going down here, though. There isn't that mid-tier 1 to crack. And unless they extend the play massively, it looks like Isma might not even be able to finish it off cleanly here.
Yeah, they've gotten a top lane turret, but Bowser's the target, and that's the wrong one to go in on. You can't really kill him quickly anymore. He's gotten a lot of HP built up, and they have to give it. I mean, so many people have been questioning, when was Los Ratones gonna struggle? When were they gonna be pushed to the brink? And I think the closest we've seen that was maybe yesterday against NBS. But I thought Karmine Corp Blue, you know, with all due respect, it is only game 1 of a best of 3. Anything can happen. Definitely paying a price, and what do they get out of it? Nothing really. KCB, Temporal, what do you do now when you're sitting in this position?
Not quite. Could have maybe arced it down into mid, but getting knocked into
This is what you do. You go for Nemesis, who's isolated and all on his own. He's down to half force to flash away as the killer instinct now comes in. Exa wants the kill and he gets it. Immediately shut down, claimed by Isma. And they've gotten 2. They've gotten Velia as well. I was asking the question and immediately Temporal, they give us the answer.
It did. Crownie was not there, was spotted leaving mid lane on a wave. And with that, KC Blue knew they had the numbers advantage. It looks like they're going to extend into Baus here. Overextending into Baus has been their issue so far. But no punish here from the Rats.
Yeah, no one can punish it this time. There is no Velia Nemesis rotating up. Baus can run for a few seconds, but I don't think there's an escape from this one. Good flash.
No way.
No way. No way Baus get out of this. And there was indeed no way. Maintel will take him down in the end. Artican has now spawned, right? It doesn't have as much damage, doesn't have as much HP, and Velia, despite dying before 2 items, does a lot of damage.
They can withdraw fearlessly from this position. They can move into their own jungle, not worried about a pick, but they do have to make a play.
We'll keep our eyes on the Lost Ratones carries. I want to see Velia as well, though. Huge! 2 stealing away there from Isma, but it's not enough quite yet. The engage doesn't lead to more! As Slowq finds a massive Emperor's Divide, and he puts the carries right into the waiting hands. If not for the Artican, this would have been a clean ace for KCB.
Bit of a disaster there. The Rats sent packing, but they do have major cooldowns out now, so the approach on this next dragon, if they choose to revenge it, they should be able to get some kills out. If they are able to rush it down, KC Blue gotta be happy with that big key teamfight ultimates back to back. There's an Ornn on the enemy team. Nemesis just at the edge of what's reasonable here.
No flash. What can he realistically do as the Impale comes through the kill? All but secured. Investing a few ultimates in it, but that's all they'll get. They'll claim the turret as well. Happy days here for KCB.
Felt confident maybe that Velia was nearby and not expecting all of KC Blue to tunnel in on this turret with Baus basing on the far side. Just Evo, Nemesis, and Crownie. And the Baron, it's all on his shoulders. He's got to steal it.
We're keeping our eyes on Velia, the one with the least experience on the biggest stage, now has to step up. He's charmed and sees it. He's down immediately, but Exa falls, and the veterans continue to fight. The Baron doing so much damage to Slowq, forcing him out. The counter-strike is good, but you're all alone, Mainter, as the Rats group up, and they take down 2. They'll chase for more, as they're not quite done. The bank comes through for Slowq. Maybe both teams are aware that if that happens, they can just start the more important objective as Isma tries to go over the wall. Baus says no, but the team isn't there to back him up. The Impale now coming through. Killer Instinct. Baus might just be caught. He doesn't have the flash, but he'll push one away as Nasua buys time in the front line. Here comes Mainter with the TP. He found Baus, but he's not dead yet. Nasu instead is the one to fall, and they're going forward. They're finding more. 2 kills for the Rats as Baus pushes this game to its very limits.
Bausons will be rewarded with the dragon and an opportunity at this Baron as Nemesis and Reckless move up.
He just used it before. Isma can hope for this deal. It is though a 50-50. They can't keep him out of the pit. We'll keep our eyes on Slowq as well. The damage from him must be there. Isma in the pit. They can cancel now and just kill the jungler. Take him down, guys. But no, they can't. They force him out of the pit and secure the Baron instead. Slowq down to half. The carry who has to do it here for KCB. Already on the brink as Exa.
Confident walking through the Poppy, walking through the Braum does mean they'll pay with their tier 2. Slowq no longer with the teleport, no longer with the flash, both burned in front of the Baron, so he can't play the long lane on bot.
Isma.
With that, Isma's going to try and find something.
It's just Reckless though, that's not the target you want, and now instead the damage gets turned slowly but surely on towards him. The Impale is on 2, but Crownie QSS's it, and as Slowq desperately tried to put out the damage, he was simply unable to do enough. Mainter now focusing on clearing the wave, a sign of desperation as KCB, the blue wall, more cracks are starting to fall.
It is desperation play from both. They've bought, honestly, more time than I thought. Only 50 seconds left on the Baron power play. No major towers cracked. And Mainter should not survive here. But the top tier 3 survives. The mid tier 3 unassaulted. They've largely done the job, even though they've had to pay for it.
I mean, this is delayed death timers, right? Isma is up in 10 when Mainter now dies here. Lost Ratones, 30 seconds left goal leader. Now they're pushing for tier 2 in bot lane as well as... I mean, I'm impressed. It's a way stronger performance.
Weaker moments. The togetherness is something that we don't normally associate with them in their best moments. Baus, that's a nice trade. No Emperor's Divide.
Stuck underneath the turret though. As I think, I mean, he could just die here to the Sand Soldiers, or not the Sand Soldiers. Instead, the turret, as the shutdown gets claimed by slowQ. And look at what's spawning in 5
No
seconds.
Emperor's Divide, no Impale, despite the Rats being a member down. If Nemesis manages the front line, Velia and Crowny should be able to take this.
They'll have to fight in 4v5, and they claim the soul initially. Velia, the immediate target, but they...
Low health bar will be regenerated. slowQ will have to be the leading edge here. Isma distracted by
goal.
Baus.
But same could be said for Mainta. He's TPing right into
Oh,
his
no,
own demise as Baus looks to be taken down. He buys so much time, but same story can be told for Mainta, who will also fall. 4v4 now, as Baron regardless.
Absolutely brutal. slowQ has done so well. Not gone down this entire game. Has done so much damage and held positions that KC Blue.
Soon be available, and oh, do they need them, KCB. As Nemesis steps up confidently, will crack open the base. The first hole in the wall can now be seen as they can peek in towards behind the curtains, and there lies a grateful victory.
Alright, the tier 3 goes down. They can't bridge back to mid. They have lost a tier 2 in bot. Confident in his performance.
slowQ. DC'd up by the Scat of the Weak. He needs to be strong at this moment and stand tall, as Isma is the one to initially be caught. Mainta's in on the back, but they've committed on the front end as Crowley's being taken down by Mainta. He's CC'd up for ages. slowQ still alive, pretty much untouched. This looks good for KCB, as they've already got one of the carries. Velia is next up on the menu, and slowQ will take him down. It's a 3-0 into the hands of the Elder Dragon for KCB.
Despite Baus's best efforts, couldn't defend his backline there. Will teleport into mid to try and damage the tier 3. Nemesis playing as much time as he can, trying to stop the bases, gets Enser, and will cancel. The Elder Dragon goes over to KC Blue. I think, have they held on to the tier 3? The Elder. They should be able to secure this nice and easily. Reset once again.
They're too tanky, and before he finds anything, fight has already been lost, the carries have been killed. Isma now potentially caught, but the Impale! It's on 3! But it's on all of the front line as Nemesis and Crowley just free fire from the back line. Exa jumps forward and looks to try and win it all here. Baus taken down in the back line as Mainta buys so much space and so much time as KCB now continue their march forward, unable to find wars.
Blowing everything on Baus. They'll easily be able to pick up this tier 2. I don't think Lost Ratones can hold this tier 3 without some absolute magic coming to pass.
Magic is needed. The Rats need to find something here. They need to cook up something magical. The goal leads still slightly in their favor, but that could quickly change. More neutral objectives falling. The Rats might take their second defeat ever in real competition. It is a best of 3. There are more chances, but as that push written in the stars really to be the final fight. 30 seconds time. Nemesis cannot be caught now. The Scat of the Weak comes through, but it's not okay. It's not good enough. He's down. He is representatives. This game could be decided with that, but they won't contest for it, so they'll have to try and push through and end it with the buff active.
You know, there is the famous meme about the French duckling. Their cooking is excellent. Low and slow. Give the pastry chef an extra 2 hours. He's going to make something special. In this game, clearly we just needed to get past 45 minutes for KC Blue to do something a little bit. True shot barrage, you know? Maybe a true shot barrage.
It's
maybe.
not
Come on, Crowny.
Yes,
come on, Crowny. Ah, too much respect. That's okay, you know. Whatever happens, they've probably had a brief discussion about what they want to do differently to avoid this, to make certain things happen again.
Baus coming in on him, and there will be no assistance of anyone from KCB. They are pinging on the top side. Can Mainta buy enough time? No, is the emphatic answer. 8-second recalls need to come through, and he buys more than I would expect. Now Crowny needs to be careful here. He's realistically all alone, and Inhibitor will fall as Velia is
There's a unit now.
pushing
2 new players. Performing so excellently on the EMEA Master stage. Stalemate here favors KC as soon
Baus
as
has been
slowQ comes
impaled,
through.
and now they go forward. Good Scat of the Weak onto 3. They got slowQ, but there was no initial follow-up. Mainta looking for the flank. Baus down to half. Crowny now trying to get control of the mid wave, and as the Elder spawns, no one can instantly start it up as the Scat of the Weak connects on 2.
Alright, teleport back out and in from Baus. He's going to continue to cover the mid lane. The Rats are onto the Dragon for the first time in minutes. KC Blue looking to recontest it. They are
assembled. Has been engaged upon, but the Scat of the Weak only finds Isma, and Baus taking solo. Mings is still on the flank. The engage down comes through. Exa, he looks for Nemesis, but he can't find him. He gets blown up. Stun of the week. Finds slow Q. He buys some time with the stopwatch as Isma desperately tries to CC up Baus, and finally he gets taken down. The Elder's still on the map though, as who gets it? It is Isma who secures it as Nemesis gets taken down. Velia needs to be the hero, but there is no hero for Los Ratones today. It's slow Q with a triple kill, and I cannot believe it, Temporal.
Absolute disasters. It looked like on our side.
This was so low, Mainter. Look who's in the base. Slowq's in the base. He's gonna end it here right now at this moment. It took 53 minutes, but the blue wall does not falter.
KC Blue from a deficit in the early game. They won't manage to break Reckless here. They'll get Crowny. They'll get the Nexus in an absolute fist fight. They had to.
Then I'd be less surprised than the other way around.
Well, I like what you're thinking. However, it could also be Tristana top lane or something. So I think we're gonna have to wait 30 seconds until it's actually.
You know, Baus is known for playing a lot of random stuff. Definitely one that I can imagine playing, but I feel like not seen super often.
It was more of a release thing because you had so many less restrictions on the E, on the W. And he engaged upon
Talking about restrictions, getting knocked up there, plus the slows. Shields do come in, but
the spear.
A lot of damage. The spear, good flash from Crowny will keep him alive. But how long do they wait? Getting pincered now behind the tower. Another dodge. Crowny just trying to survive. The shield's going to keep them up for a little bit longer, but Isma takes the kill, and Reckless may not be able to get out of this one either. Flashes away to stay alive, and Velia will finally come through to push them. Do it. Bounce in big trouble. Isma just needs to hope that the shield isn't up, really. The recall coming in, but I don't know if you got the time. The spears are going to stop him back in Temporal. It's time for the tower dive, and Baus it's going to stay alive for a little bit longer. Now with the team here, this could be a turnaround. The flash out. Here comes the Siva, and Isma has been cooked. Jebaited. Going over to KCB slightly, but the grubs will be nicely traded by LR.
Yeah, we don't have sort of a super grubs user outside of the Tristana in this game, so I love the Rats once again getting the first 3. I'd like to see them come back for the second 3 though. In the first game, they gave that over in return for a dragon. We went to 5 dragons taken, and then finally the Mountain Soul, and then you probably saw, Jay, 3 Elder Dragons to close that one out. Just a few dragons last game. So we'll see how many. I thought
League was supposed to be ending faster this season. You know, 3 Elder Dragons tells me otherwise. Isma now on the invade. It is going to be a support versus jungle matchup here. Obviously, nearly known for a lot of damage. Velia can definitely dish out some of their own. The Asher are going to go slightly wide. Los Ratones, they are going to hold on to the jungle, but they might be going too far deep. 4 members in. Velia in trouble, going to flash away. Does get over the wall, but Exa chasing them down. The slows are there, and the Maokai will finally fall down. Baus trying to help his team. Isma able to chunk them down and should just be able to get free claim of this objective. So not going to allow Los Ratones those 6 grubs, and SoQ putting that pressure onto Nemesis once again, almost getting the kill. Nemesis has to flash, and all around the map it's going KC's way, which is not good for the NLC fans right now. Baus also is in trouble, will be able to stop Mainta from getting anywhere near close to him. But at the moment, we need a little bit of success for the NLC as Enter finding a bit of a target here. There goes the Nidalee, and goodbye to Reckless.
Didn't manage to body block the Ash Arrow, both taking it to heart there. A real shame. KCB pushing that one forwards. We'll continue on to Velia.
Happening again. Velia just completely obliterated. I don't know what the Maokai thought, and Baus, I don't know where you're going. Kills are being gifted.
Secure the back there. The shielded damage does not cancel the recall. Won't be here in time for this dragon, but will be here for struggle. We'll have to see if Los Ratones can take on that role of late game resilience in a difficult position, and whether they can make it work as the twisted advances forwards.
It looks good. It looks good so far. Enser is caught out and completely removed. Velia picks up the kill though. That's
those crashing waves. They add up. Yeah, they add up real well.
And that will be the boots.
Rift Herald, no doubt.
Oh no. Oh no.
Baus. Oh, Baus.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Baus. The tower's going to go down, and so will the Nautilus. Can he take one with him? The answer is no.
That's a real struggle. Nemesis might be able to continue to push this lane. Velia's here as well, but the minion wave will be extinguished before anyone arrives. So despite 4 people coming, this is still a pretty elongated dive.
Oh, they're forcing pretty hard. The lockdown is there, the slows, but where's the damage? It's Reckless and Velya, like they're doing a little bit, but against Mainta has the World Ender, gonna force them both away, use the ultimates. Yes, they'll get the tower, but can they get out? Mainta's now on the chase, although may have gone a little bit far here. 4 members are deep, they're moving forward, but there's the Aatrox. The World Ender comes down, 2 dead. Los Ratones did not calculate the play the way they thought it was going to be. Nemesis falls as well, and KCB.
If you let the Aatrox get the approach, it is too much to deal with. That was example 1, and to not have it happen again, Los Ratones have got to slow right down.
To Los Ratones, and if Los Ratones can't hold out themselves temporal, then I don't really know how they're going to stop this steamroller.
Multiple dragons in, Elder spawning was enough to get the later game team composition into an advantageous position.
Oh, Nemesis stunned immediately. Nice. Wildcard will give them the space, gets the kill, and that's the ticket they need back into the game.
Sort of opportunity of all that move speed, being able to contribute to these 2 carries, being evasive, staying away from the threat.
Oh, it's locked down. It's locked down. In trouble. Could be caught out here, but able to get over the wall. However, on the flip side of this fight, Baus low. Slow Q having to walk away, though. Ratones not losing any members, but not picking up any either. And that mid tower going down to the Herald.
I think that's okay for Los Ratones. They are going to get Isma.
Isma gets killed. Nemesis with a nice pick up there, and we'll be able to here. We're starting to see Velya walk down, but can't really go and check that out. They will trade it for a tower, so another tier 1 unlocked. A bit of pressure put mid as well.
It's a bit of gold. I think the experience will actually go a long way when you play the champions like Nidalee. And to a degree as well, your experience might just be favoring
TP.
The summoner spell cooldown. Oh, in it comes. It is Mainta into mid lane.
And straight at them as well. And Ratones not running away. There's the Magnastorm. 3 core, immediately 2 dead. And that is so much damage coming in from Soku. Baus trying to run away, will hook himself, but not to safety. Another kill. And KC are looking to end this game soon. Temporal.
The Rats have got all the range in their composition. But what is all the range to Ensa flashing forwards and dropping the Magnet Storm? A huge blender that needs to be direct access. Slow Q and Isma can do a lot from long range with the poke and with the setup. They don't have all the burst in the world.
We're getting another fight now. Baus is the frontline target. Ensa is going to go down early. Now onto Mainta. They're switching the targets up, but Slowq is forcing them down towards the bottom side of the map and picking up kills already. The damage is dropping in, and they just don't have the stats. They don't have the items. Nemesis pushes Mainta so low, but does not die. With Reckless, will be able to stay up.
And it's starting to stress them.
Oh, Velya, surely. Could he go for the steal? It's not going to have time. It will be the Baron picked up. KCB now actually going to find the Maokai. This could be a pick to end it all, really. They're going to pick that one, and now maybe they look for more. They're going into the top side jungle. Los Ratones, they're in a weird spot here, Temporal. They're trying to run out, but KCB are hot on this chase. They want blood. They want to find them. They smell the end of this game sooner rather than later. Baus going to fall down, and more towers are near to come. The stun as well from downtown. Can they do anything with it? The stun's landing damage on top, and Slow Q absolutely obliterates Reckless.
Slow Q has had an incredible series. 0 deaths throughout. Stood up to Nemesis in lane. Something that is very, very hard to do for anyone at all. And with it, the base starts to break. Jay, it took ages to get through the base in game 1. I don't think it's going to take so long in game 2. Nemesis hooked in.
Does not look likely. Nemesis going to go down immediately. Tower falling, in-hip falling, mid-tower falling as well. 2 towers holding on strong, but for how long? Temporal, Velya and Crowny, they can't keep tabs on it. Another tower falls. The minions, they're slamming forward. The damage is raining in. There isn't anything the Rats can do right now but scurry, because at the moment, KCB, they're in a flurry. They're moving forward. They're looking for the end. 1 more inhib down. 1 tower and a Nexus is all they need to take. The Rats with a big knock-up. Can they do the damage? In goes Rel. Down goes Ratones. And it will be KCB moving on through.
They will make it to the next round of the tournament. Congratulations, Karmine Corp Blue. That was a fantastic series.